Good day, folks. This is your hillbilly historian coming to you from the hills of East Tennessee, bringing you history you won't find in your high school textbooks or your college textbooks. Ah, for truth, justice, and the American way reigns. We are dedicated to truth and honesty, logic, common sense, and good thinking, and the truth above all else. Something the Democrat Party has totally lost. But anyway, today I want to talk about one of the most interesting Americans that has ever lived in our country. I mean, we have people who live interesting lives, and that's what life is all about. Having a little fun here and there, working hard, working for tomorrow, planning for the future, living honestly and everything. But yet, living a good, interesting, hard-working life. And one of the most interesting people I've ever heard about or read about, and you can find videos on YouTube about him, is a guy by the name of Gianni Russo. Gianni, Gianni, Gianni Russo, Russo. Very upbeat, positive, good living character that is real interesting. When he was a young kid growing up in New York City, he was a gopher for the Colombo mob family. He ran errands for them. Now, Gianni Russo was never a made man. So he was not really a member of the Cosa Nostra, whatever it's, Cosa Nostra, the Mafia. He was never a member of the Mafia. And but he was on the peripheral. He was a gopher, run errands, did things for them, stuff. But he stayed on the good side of life. He didn't become a murderer, killer, extortionist, beating people up. He didn't do any of that stuff. He was just a really good guy. But his road to fame was when he was about 19 or 20 years old. They were going to film this movie in New York City called The Godfather, based on a best-selling book called by the same name, The Godfather. And Francis Ford Coppola was the guy that was going to direct it, and he was trying to put together a script for the movie, and he was working with the author of The Godfather, and he was going to film this movie. He wanted to use Old City, New York, for scenes in The Godfather, but the Mafia didn't like the book, and they darn well wasn't going to like the movie. They didn't want a movie about the Mafia. And so they were not going to let Francis Ford Coppola use New York City to make his movie. And Gianni Russo, he stepped in, said, "Look, I can get you permission to film this movie in New York if you'll give me a major part." Now, he wanted to play Michael, the main role, but Francis Ford had already decided on Al Pacino. Then he wanted Sonny, the firecracker of the family. And Francis Ford Coppola had already decided he wanted James Caan for that role. So he gave Gianni Russo, and he'd never played in a movie before in his life, he gave him the role of the son-in-law who beat up the Corleone daughter and caused Sonny to come and beat him up and caused Sonny to come a second time, and they ambushed him and killed him. And so Michael had to get rid of the son-in-law at the end of the movie because he was not trustworthy. He had sold out to a rival mafia family. You just didn't rat out your friends in the mafia. But anyway, old Gianni Russo, he said, look, I can get you permission for this role. And Francis Ford Coppola put him in there, and he did a darn good job. In fact, I think Gianni Russo went on to play in something like 70 movies after that. And he had some high dollar credits in some of those movies. He was credited real high. Like second, third, fourth name listed in the credits in some of those movies. He became a sort of a B star, B-level star. He wasn't a big superstar because the media, the studios didn't try to make him into a big star like Pacino and James Caan and those kind of guys. But he played Talia Shire's husband in The Godfather. He beat her up, whipped her with a belt and stuff, basically to get Sonny to come out where they could ambush him. But he had this fight with Sonny on the streets of New York there. And Johnny, he laughs about it now. He said James Caan didn't hold back. He said he got rough. And Gianni Russo ended up with a couple of broken ribs and some bruises and stuff. Because he said James Caan didn't hold back. And really worked on him in that scene. But it was a great scene in The Godfather. And where James Caan just beat the heck out of Gianni Russo. But Gianni Russo, he went to the Colombo family. He knew that Colombo, the guy that was the head of the Colombo family that was assassinated on Italy Day. He started the Italian civil rights movement to try to force the FBI to quit investigating the Italians for everything they did. And the rest of the mafia families didn't like it. They thought it was too much publicity for their taste. They did not like a lot of publicity. And this guy that was the head of the Colombo family, I think his name was Colombo. He was assassinated right there on the stage in Italy Day, celebrating a rally for the civil rights movement for Italians, and he was doing a Martin Luther King number for the Italians, and real smart move on his part, but it backfired on him because there was a guy that wanted to be head of the Colombo family that had been in prison that just got out. He wanted Colombo assassinated so he could take over the family. They didn't kill Colombo right there on stage. They shot him in the head, and he was in a coma for years. He died a few years later, but he was in a coma the whole time. But Gianni Russo went to Colombo and said, look, they want to make this movie, The Godfather, here in New York. And Colombo said, okay, we'll let him if they never use the word mafia anywhere in the movie. And if you watch the movie closely, you will never see the word mafia used in the movie Godfather, because they agreed with the Colombo crime family that they would not use, if they'd let them film it, they would not use the word mafia anywhere in the movie. But Gianni Russo is the one that talked Colombo into letting them make this movie in New York, where Francis Ford Coppola wanted to make it, and use the streets as actual scenes. For the actual scenes, they found a house in New York they wanted to use for the Godfather's home, and so Colombo consented if they wouldn't use the word mafia. Now, I don't know about the word Cosa Nostra, or the phrase, this thing of ours. I'm not sure if they used that or not in the movie, but everybody got the image. They knew it was the mafia. They knew it was the Cosa Nostra. One of the Corleone family was one of the crime families of New York, and but Gianni Russo is the one who got Francis Ford Coppola permission, and he got a significant role in The Godfather. Even though it wasn't one of the main roles, it was probably one of the top 7 or 8 roles in the movie The Godfather, and it vaulted his career in acting. And Gianni Russo, he also claims that when he was running errands for the Colombo family, he delivered something to this apartment, and Marilyn Monroe was there, and she was alone, and she wanted to make love to him. And he and she supposedly made love. He was only like 17 or 18 years old. So he lived an exciting life for a young man. He really got off on a good foot and got started. Made a lot of movies and did all right. But he enjoyed life. He took advantage of opportunity. He jumped right in there, took advantage of it, made something out of it, made something out of himself, and lived a very interesting, wonderful life. Gianni Russo. And this is your hillbilly historian coming to you from the hills of East Tennessee, telling you about things you won't find in your high school history books or your college books. Because here in the hills of Tennessee, we believe in truth, honesty, justice, and the American way. The reality of America, something the Democrats have forgotten, and people out there should quit voting Democrat because they are a sick bunch of puppies. Look at old Crockett. She lost her primary down in Texas to run for Senate, and now she's claiming that it was a fraudulent election. No such thing as fraud when Trump's involved, but when they lose, when Stacey Abrams lost in Georgia, it was stolen. Crockett claims theft, but not when Trump claims it. Hypocritical, backstabbing, lying Democrats, that's all they are anymore. They're not worthy of the air they breathe. The air of freedom, liberty, property, all the great things that make life wonderful. Democrats don't breathe that air anymore. They pollute it. But anyway, this is your hillbilly historian saying good day.